Hi, and welcome to Kabbalah Conversations. We're so happy you dropped in to join us. Kabbalah Conversations is where students of the Kabbalah Center get together to have weekly conversations about how the energy of the week impacts us and how we navigate through its challenges and face the opportunities that the universe brings to us this week, using the tools and the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, which ultimately helps us connect to our soul's purpose and true fulfillment. Since you found our channel, we hope that something that you hear today inspires you and motivates you or helps you make your week a lot better because of it. So welcome to my fellow Kabbalah students.
Yay. Hi,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Hey.
I wanted to do something. I just thought about it. Let's read a verse, you know. So the reason why we read a verse, we tap into special consciousness. It's basically the highest consciousness that there is. In short, when we are living the way most human beings are being born, it's kind of automatic consciousness that has to do with what I need, the desire for the self alone. With the help of a tool like the Zohar, when we read the Zohar, we're changing our consciousness from only what I want to also my soul desire, which is to share, to do for others, to care for others, to be outside of myself. And when I go from this consciousness to that, everything is available. Everything that I want in my life, sometimes it's blocked because I'm only to myself. And when I'm opening, I'm shifting to be thinking about other people and bringing light to the world, sharing, caring, what's going on with another person, then, we're really tapping into the soul level versus the body, which is unlimited, and there's no shortage of light on the soul level ever. So this is from Lech Lecha, just one verse to tap in. דבר אחר, כי מי אלוה, דר עזה דמילה, דה אל כללה הוא, דהתקלל מכולהו דרגין, ואיתמה, דה אל יהיו דרגה אחרה, בגין דכתיב, אל זוהם בכל יום. And I'm gonna ask I need to keep my eyes open, but everybody can close your eyes, even if you're listening to this. Close your eyes if you can, obviously, if you're not driving or anything else. And just listen to the words and meditate that you are now tapping into your soul, which is beyond, like, if you had any idea how powerful your soul is, it's like all the power that the creator has, your soul has. It's like so beyond anything we can imagine. And these words can help you to tap into, to connect to that power, that unlimited, amazing power of your soul. תחת זה, דה לית אל מבלעדי השם, דלאו יהוא בלכודוי, ולה יתפרש להלמין, ואל דה כתיב, כי מי אל מבלעדי השם וגומר, ומי צור וגומר, דה צור לאו יהוא בלכודוי, אלא כל אחד, כדכתיב, וידעת היום, והשיבות אל לבביך, כי השם הוא האלוקים וגומר. All right, that should do it for us.
You know what's also beautiful about sharing that is that most of the time we operate on just reactive consciousness from the second we wake up, right? And all throughout the day. And to just have a quiet moment that you tap in and say, I want to be connected to my soul. It's just such an important reminder, because we can go the whole day, the whole week, the whole month, just, it's great, everything's okay, it's not okay, and I need to react to this and my to-do list and all the challenges that we face. To know that at any second of any day, I can just pause, close my eyes, reconnect to my soul, and then operate from there. It's powerful.
Beautiful.
What was that you read, and what was the
So I
meaning of it?
just opened, this is my copy. It's a Hebrew Zohar, meaning that every Zohar would have the Aramaic, but the English would have an English translation and commentary by Rav Ashlag, a great Kabbalist. And in the Hebrew, it's in Hebrew, right here. So I just open anywhere. Every week has a different section that has a unique energy. This week is Lech Lecha, it's called. And so I just opened anywhere. I didn't choose where, and it just wanted to be on the section of this week, and I read from there. So I don't even know.
Mhm.
And just to add, there's, you know, specifically if there's anything that we need energy of miracles, or we need energy of healing, or we need energy of sustenance, or legal, or any kind of challenge that we have. There's a key that tells you scan or read from this specific section of the Zohar, and it'll open that channel for you. So it's either the energy of the week or specific energy that you're looking for or that you need. And Esther, you spoke about the reactive consciousness that we have. You know, it's like it's given to us in order to you're thinking like, so why is my day filled with stuff? Why am I not just doing spirituality? You know, there's a reason, because it's designed that way. It has to be that way. Or if it's a challenge, or if it's a great thing, it's always the purpose is for me to take it and then connect with the soul and say, what does my soul want to do in the situation? You know, that's how we're supposed to go through life. You know, and whether it's a challenge or it's a great thing, there's always a difference if I'm working on automatic pilot, which is, you know, it's kind of a waste. Or when I stop, I pause, I said, okay, let me reconnect with my soul and operate from that level. And also ask what does my soul want to do in this situation, and ask what is the light of the Creator wanting me to do right now. You know, just by asking that question, I'm totally in a different place.
Yeah. Change your reality.
On the Spiritually Hungry podcast episode this week, Monica Berg shared a very similar mindset. The whole topic of this week was about not being busy and everything being meaningful and everything spiritual. And she shared the story of her and her daughter, who saw this little boy who was disabled about to throw a rock, and the dad came and grabbed him and got mad at him, said, don't do that. And they were saying they saw, and they were just so upset, and they didn't know what to do, and they were praying, should we help, or will that make it worse? Should we say something? And in the end, they didn't do anything. They were just very sad and talked about it later. And Michael had a very good point. He goes, you know, you just seeing that and having empathy for them, like that was very powerful, and that energy will go to them, and that will help the boy and the dad and everyone. And it made me really realize that all the little moments that we think like, oh, that wasn't spiritual, or maybe I didn't do the spiritual right thing because we don't see the results right away, that actually maybe they're the most spiritual, you know?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like if I didn't take an action, then I didn't do anything. And they're saying, Michael is telling them, you didn't take an action, but in your mind was, you know, doing something. You know, that's very powerful, because I would feel also like, oh, wasted opportunity. You know, I should have come, I should have said, I should have done something.
But you're sending light to the situation just by noticing it and having your intention be, I want to send them light. I want to help this situation.
And so often I think too, we forget like the feelings, like just being, sometimes having that sadness and sharing that and having the empathy, how powerful it is. Like we're sharing and we're unifying with someone, and that gives them strength, and it also cleanses and heals us, you know, to go through a beautiful process. You know, not always the feelings are bad things, like lots of times sadness and those feelings, like if we don't stay in them too long and eat them up, we let them flow through it, it's actually a very, very beautiful, good thing. And it made me see like how much of life is spiritual, like those dark moments or the sad moments or the little moments, like they're all so powerful and they're all so spiritual.
Wow.
Yeah. Monica was saying that a lot of times when, I think this was in an email or something that she sent out, she said we have to reframe the challenge, whatever that thing is, and say, I'm being invited to grow from the situation. So when we're noticing something that's happening, or we're in something that seems really negative, to say, I'm being invited to grow, because on the other side of it is light. And I think David Gim was also talking about it. When a challenge comes, it's not going to last. So whatever it is that we're going through, this dark moment, these dark thoughts, to connect up with the light of the Creator again, and you're going to be on the other side of it. So how you choose to go through it, if you choose to see it as, I'm going to grow from this, I want to notice my thoughts, but I'm going to let them, they're just going to pass across the screen, and I'm not going to engage in those dire circumstances and the what if, and what if this happens, to catch your negative thoughts, and to say, okay, I'm going to shift to the path of the light, and I'm going to go through this, but I'm going to go through it with intention, and knowing that the light force of the Creator is with me to get on the other side.
Michael, I listened to a talk, a lecture from 2014, I think, about this week's energy. And it was saying that when we're having pain and a hard challenge, if we are praying to, get through the process so we don't have the pain, then it takes a long time, and, it's not really that spiritual or effective. But really, we should feel it and say, it hurts not to be connected to the Creator. Like, the pain I'm feeling isn't the chaos, it isn't the whatever.
Wow.
It's because I'm not connected to the Creator. And when we identify that that's the pain,
Wow.
then it can move fast.
That is so powerful.
So powerful.
What a shift. When you were talking before about noticing, feeling the pain of somebody else, it brought something from our life, Esther and mine, in a little different way. Because in this case, in Monica and Abigail's story, it had nothing to do with them. It wasn't affecting them. There was pain that they were observing, but it wasn't their pain. We have a situation when it's got to do with us, and it's causing us pain. Just basically, we have neighbors. It's a long story, but it's very, very, very reactive. Very, like, to the point that we're not sure if it's safe sometimes. And definitely the language, we don't want our ear to hear. There's like screaming going on outside. It's really, really bad. And at first you react. You're doing something to me. You're in my street and I'm not comfortable, and it's maybe I'm not feeling comfortable even with my kids. Is it safe? And it's about me. And I'm not saying that I need to say, oh no, it's perfectly fine, I just need to care about them. It's not. In this case, it's both at the same time. On one hand, I may need to call the police. I may need to do something to take an action. So I'm not saying sit down and don't do anything. I could still take the action. Maybe I need to call the police or do something like that. But at the same time, I know that part of my work is also to feel their pain. Like, the reason why it's happening next to me could have happened somewhere else. Why is it happening to me? It's not because the Creator is saying, oh, I'm going to give you some pain, I'm going to, something. No, I need you to, first of all, and two things again at the same time. You can take an action that you need to take on the physical reality, but at the same time, I also need you to do spiritual work here. And I don't know exactly necessarily what the spiritual work here, but I did take the time every now and then, like I would read Zohar, and I'm like sending them light because they need it. Their relationship is, terrible, horrible. There's so much pain there. So to be at the same two places at the same time, on one hand, do what I need to do, to take action, but also to feel their pain, to pray for them, to send their energy. Esther gave them a Zohar one day. It's like, both at the same time. So it's just something that came to me when you were talking about noticing chaos and pain somewhere else.
Yeah, to be in it, to be in the pain. I mean, one day I saw the dad was out there with a little girl, and what's happened, and what she's been exposed to, and it's terrible, and but I had something, a little sofa of my daughter's that she wasn't using anymore, and I could just drop it off at donation. But I thought about that little girl, and I saw them out there, and I just walked up to him and I said, "Hey, I don't know if your daughter would like this, but my daughter's done using it, and maybe she would appreciate it." And it lit them up so much, and to not be afraid of these neighbors. They're human beings and they're going through something difficult, and they could wake up one day and say, I need to get help. I need to shift this. That thought, I'm praying for that thought to come into their mind that they can fix their family. Maybe they have to go through some other difficult situation to get to that point. But, and he turned to her and he goes, "Are you happy? Wow, are you happy? Is this?" And she was so happy that she got something. And then the very next week, he came over to us and brought us something that he thought my kids would like. Like it's insane that could even happen from this situation that's so reactive, and all the neighbors that have their, eyes on them with such rage. And so, yeah, we have to be in two places at the same time.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
I know that the other neighbors, they don't have the tools that we have, so I doubt if they're thinking like that, but I don't blame them. It's perfect. I mean, if I didn't have the tools, I would never think that part of my job is to pray for them. Like, to pray for them, I pray for them to leave. They need to live here. They're terrible. That's because we spoke with other
That's
neighbors, and that's kind of like the natural response. Like, I can't wait for them to leave already. And on some level, it's fine. Maybe they do need to, still, it's two places at the same time. But I know that part of my job in this situation is to pray for them, is to feel their pain.
And I think that's the point of doing this whole podcast, these recordings, and to show how we use the tools in daily life with unexpected situations, and to bring more light into the world so that more people know about these tools, more people can use these tools, and what a difference we can make in our lives and people around us.
I had a difficult neighbor over the past year, and the silly thing, she was threatening to sue me for things that didn't make sense. And I just, for the first like 6 months, I was just very nice. And I said, "Okay, we're going to figure it out. Let's just talk about it. Come over, and very angry, but I just was kind of trying to work with her and keep everything calm. And after like a couple months, she really opened up and she started sharing all of her pain with me and all these things and crying. And she's like, "I've never told anyone this." And eventually it got to the point it didn't end. I had to put boundaries on. But the fact that I had been open, like you, Esther, you created an opportunity of connection and love. Then when the boundaries came, there weren't lawsuits. It was respected, but not that always happens. But it did show that really the goal is unity. I mean, in any of this, the goal, like, it may take some time to get there, but if we play the long game or the spiritual game that we just want to unify and not like escape the situation, but help everyone and connect with everyone, I mean, eventually you hope that there's a little movement, a little win.
And like, to ask the creator, to pause and say, okay, this situation is very uncomfortable to me. However, I know it's coming from you. What is the reason you bringing it to my life? What would you like me to do? What is it? I know there's light in this situation. I just don't know where, like, what do you want me to do? Not in a reactive way, but would you like me to scan Zohar? Would you like me to talk to them? Would you like me to do something different? Would you like me to, whatever? But just to have the conversation with the creator, recognizing that it's coming from him for my benefit. It's a very different conversation than, why are you doing this to me? Or why is this happening? Or even worse, not even including the creator at all. And it just happening to me and it has no reason. And I just need to get rid of it, get rid of the pain,
Victim consciousness.
I think so often too, you look back at those scenarios when they're done and you're like, oh man, that really made me like a really tolerant person, or a really strong person able to like not be reactive. And you realize even if you don't know like what happened, if you helped them, if you didn't, like just seeing your growth in the process, that like, wow, people can come at me and be crazy and I'm actually okay. Like I'm actually not freaking out like maybe I would have 2 years ago, and I'm calm, and how that is such a gift in itself.
Amazing. Very cool. I think we're coming to the end of our session. I wanted to bring up something that this is, you know, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this, I'm inviting you to the back door where we just have conversation. It's not even the podcast or anything. It's just us having a meeting about the podcast. So we're keeping the recording, but I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think if we open this up somehow? The idea is this: if it's not only for Vegas, for people to jump on the Zoom, if they have anything that they can share from a podcast of this week. So through this podcast that we're doing, it's going to be the place that everybody who is interested in the Kabbalah Center, they can plug in to see what's happening this week in the different channels. So if somebody wants to jump on and tell us what, in a brief way, what was Spiritually Hungry about, and just summarize it for us. And somebody else can jump and say, you know, on Instagram, I saw Marcus talking about this. It's really cool. Check it out. And stuff like that for people to jump on from wherever. Set up a time for that, and just have people share, especially the free stuff, because it's beneficial. You know, anybody jumping on the podcast can, you know, if it's on YouTube, they can get the link and immediately watch what we were talking about, you know. Or if it's for existing students, it's the place where they can, even for me, you know, how cool would it be if somebody told me, oh, this week Ruth Nachmias spoke about something amazing that's coming next week. You know, how awesome would that be? You know, and if you're watching us and you have no idea what I'm talking about, Ruth Nachmias is an astrologer, so she could say, you know, next week Mars is going to be in I don't even know their language, but you know, there's a shift in the universe and it's going to be that. So I think that could be cool. What do you guys think
Yeah,
about that?
I like it. Let's
I
try
like
it.
the idea. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we need to see how technically it can be done. Anyway, any last thoughts? Comments?
Nope. I think another thing that another thing somebody could do along those lines that you're talking about is just to share something about the energy of the week, you know, that's coming. So you can take advantage of it. That's really nice. Like on a Monday that you know, hey, the energy of the week is going to be this, right? Astrologically, Kabbalistically, whatever. Forewarned is forearmed.
Imagine that we have a Zoom call like that and everybody, you know, you have Ruth Nachmias and Yael Yardeni jump for 2 minutes. They say this is astrologically, this is what's going on. And then Marcus comes in and, oh, in England next week, we're going to have an event, you know, and Jenna, here's you know, how awesome would that be, right? Like a half hour of what's happening in Kabbalah Center all over the world this week and on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there was some way that the people who had stuff did even a video recording and we could put it together and so we knew, because really, yeah, it's all kind of scattered. We need like one spot with all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today for our Kabbalah conversation. And for everyone that's listening, we hope that something that you heard today makes your week better because of it. And if you're looking for more, we've included resources, lessons, and podcasts from the Kabbalah Center on our page and in the highlights, so you can continue to connect during the week. So tell your friends and share our page with everyone that you think can benefit from it. We're so excited to grow our community and very soon to have live in-person events as well, and featured guests on our podcast. So feel free to ask questions, drop a comment below if you'd like to join our waiting list for the next live class. We wish you an amazing week and look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.